Hi, this is Bill. So previously we discussed about the flow in the business rule, what to prioritize, what comes first, and what goes last. And a recap on what we have discussed previously, the upper left, the user query or the system query comes first prior to querying business rules. And the business rule query comes before the database query and before it moves forward to the display business rules. And this display business rules is what we're going to discuss today and where we're going to have a deep dive. As you can see, this display business rules goes before form submit, then form submit comes before business rules, and the before business rules come prior to database update, and finally the after or async business rules. Now, to move forward with the display business rules, scroll up a little bit. So what you can see here, right? So the display business rule executes using the G underscore scratchpad object, right? So once you configure the business rule to use the display, then you will have to use the G underscore scratchpad. So how it works is like after the database has been queried, right, and updated and submitted, right, then you can utilize the G underscore scratchpad from the server side, which is the business rule, and you can pass that information or variable or field to the client side. So I'll give you a live example on what I meant from here. So let us go to our developer instance, and I already created this script and I gave some random title, right, and referencing the incident table. So as we move forward, right, so before I explain the script, let's go to when to run, and it's making sure that we have ticked the advanced into true to allow you to the advanced tab to basically be enabled. And as we go back, as you can see that the when to run uses display, so it does not work with, or the behavior basically is different, right? So it hides the operations on the right, the insert, update, and so on, right? With the display business rule, how it works, like it closely or dependent to the G underscore scratchpad object. And on this scenario, I have put the actions unconfigured at the moment and concentrated on the script view. So now for data integrity, so we use the dot walking and the current object. So how did I manage to produce this variable here? So let me append this code here and expand to this dot walking and also make sure we have better visibility of the code. So now let's go to the fields and under assign to, let's go to the first name. And upon moving to the first name, right, once you click that, automatically it produces this line of code here, right? So from the current object, so we go to assign to and also the first name. Now let us remove that for readability. And as you can see here that we have used a G underscore scratchpad object, and you have to assign a variable name. And the variable name here, which is assigned to, will be populated with this variable that we have created on the right. So as it populates from right to left, right, then we can now utilize this in the client side view. And as you can see here as a best practice, right? So for readability, since we are using assign to, right, we also use the assign to, right, variable in the G underscore scratchpad. And you can be more specific, like assign to first name, since that is what we're going to get from the server and passing to the client side. And also here on the error, right? So we put the error message as the referencing variable where the error on the server side will also be set. Now, as you can see, it's quite straightforward. And let us now move to the client side or the client script. So we use client script here. And as we navigate and drill down to the client script, right? So we also put a random name. So we put the same name since they have the same purpose. And referencing the incident table, UI type, eventually we are covering all at the moment. And we put as a JavaScript behavior, which is on page load, right? And as we go to the script, you will see since the client side has access to the DOM, right? So we use the alerts, right, for simplicity and use the G underscore scratchpad object and assigning a variable and vice versa on the error, right? We use an error message. So it's quite straightforward, basically. And now we have referenced that it should work as expected. Now let's go to the incident, right? And as we go to the incident, so as you can see, as we have loaded the incident, right? And the incident record, now the alert has been executed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next demo.